On this week's show, Peloton launches new Bike Plus colors, and the Row is on sale in Canada at introductory pricing.
Plus, Peloton hints a 1989 Taylor Swift artist series. Oprah was in studio with Jess Sims, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 151 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm John Pruitt. I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Amanda Siegel. Hey, Amanda, are you there?
Hey, John, I'm here.
Hey.
I am here. Hey, John, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there. The week's pretty much over here. So
yeah,
complain.
it's crazy. Things are just moving by too fast. Before we know it, we're going to be in November. It is
Snow's
just
going to be hitting the ground.
I know.
I'm going to have to start turning the heat on here.
All right, I won't talk about being down in Miami and that, it's warm. Although I have to be honest with you, this was not a good week in Miami. So I had a great week last week. The weather was gorgeous. No, it's been blowing gales and really, really rough. The sea's been rough. So there's been no beach time this week. But that's okay.
Been some chop
some
in the
very
water.
choppy waters. Hopefully it will turn before I head back up north next week for a little bit, and a quick stop off at PSNY with the marathon next week. So that's exciting.
Are we vibing on my new headset here with my instructor mic?
I like it. I hope that our YouTube viewers are really going for this, because you look hot. I mean, this is a look.
with my 3-day-old scruff that I never had time to shave today before we recorded, because I was still cooling down from that hosking run that we did.
Yeah, I couldn't even get to wash and dry I'm not even camera ready with having to do that, husky run and then jumping on to record. But it was worth it, because that was a fun run. So yeah, it was worth it. All right. Well, I think we have lots to talk about. So as always, before we get started with the news, we always like to remind you how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button at the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button to make sure that you never miss an episode.
Yes, and you can always just listen to us if you're on the go and you want to just hear the audio only. We're on all traditional podcast platforms. So just search Pelo Buddy TV, subscribe, hit notifications so you never miss an update or an episode. And please leave us those 5-star reviews that we love to read on the show from time to time. We especially appreciate the feedback that we get from you on how we can tweak and improve things from time to time and enhance the show. So we do really appreciate that. And we really do take it in consideration. So keep those coming.
Awesome. And of course, folks, we're on Facebook, Instagram, X. Just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on all of those platforms for all of our latest news. And now let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. Well, the Bike Plus went on sale this week in 3 special limited edition colors. 3 different colors. There's only apparently 100 of each available, but the 3 colors are called Candy, which is basically a Pelo red, Ocean, which is like a light green. It's kind of a nice color, actually, and Galaxy, which kind of looks like a rosy gold look. We're recording on Thursday right now. I see them all still available on the Peloton website currently. Chris Lewis, had said he checked the night before, and they all appear to be sold out. But as of right now, as of recording time, they all do still appear to be available. They come with a $300 premium, though. Keep in mind. So each Bike Plus, it costs $27.95, which is an additional $300 tacked on. Normally, the Bike Plus is $24.95. This is also the same pricing as that special University of Michigan branded bike that went on sale last month. That's got the maize and blue color scheme on it. The bikes are not expected to ship though for a while, 8 to 12 weeks. That's like a pandemic quarantine time frame when things start going crazy.
Yeah.
But Peloton first shared the news of the limited edition colors on Instagram back on October 23rd. And Cody made a cute little teaser video for it, in the spirit of sort of like the Home Shopping Network, how they, sell things on TV. He like did this unveiling where, he pulled off like a sheet off of the bike and, had like the call now, callers, operators are standing by kind of theme to it. So it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, John. I think a $300, okay, they had to put some price tag on it, I guess, right? I mean, otherwise it wouldn't have made any sense. It wouldn't have been exclusive.
Yeah.
But
do we know anybody? I haven't heard anybody that bought one.
Nope. I had a friend that really really wanted to get one. And she said, I just couldn't justify spending $300. She has a regular bike. So she wanted to get a bike plus and she has a second home and move her bike to her second home. And she just said, I could not justify spending an additional $300. And I get it. I think our friend David Miller made a pretty good point about it. He had a story, just saying the stock's plummeting and the colors are increasing, and how do we get there? So
if anybody's going with the special bike theme, David Miller's getting the Michigan one. He's a staunch Michigan graduate.
Of course. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't actually chatted to him lately, so I don't know whether he in fact did get a Michigan one or not. But I don't know.
Not,
it just seems like, I don't know, there's so many other things they could be doing than making colored bikes right now, is my opinion. That's just my opinion. So I don't know. Well, I guess we will see. If anybody has purchased one, please let us know at Pelo Buddy. We'd love to find out your reasoning behind getting one. And we're excited. We're excited for you. We think it's great, but we're just not getting one.
If you cussied up and pay the extra $300, let us know.
They'll be embarrassed now to tell us, oh boy, I think I've just messed it up for us. Anyway, well, finally, the Canadians don't feel quite so left out, because Peloton has shared that they have expanded its market by launching the Peloton Row in Canada. So, everybody who is a little bit further north has the ability to purchase online or at a Peloton store the Row. It is offered with an introductory pricing initially. So this pricing will go through January the 9th of 2024. The Row Basics is priced at 3,570 Canadian dollars, with prices set to increase after that introductory period. The launch includes various packages and financing options through a firm, providing flexibility for customers. But this expansion marks now the second country to have access to the Peloton Row, following the introduction in the United States. So, I'm dying to find out. I know that there were definitely Canadians that were looking very forward to that, dropping there. So I'm really curious to know how those sales go, and, definitely jump on the bandwagon before the price goes up, because
I think that introductory pricing, that's pretty smart to lure people in. It's still an expensive product, but I think compared to the Hydro and the Concept 2, which everyone that has those really loves, I've seen people compare them and they say the Peloton product is far superior.
Superior. Yeah,
it's pricey, but I think that they were smart in putting that introductory pricing on there. That'll definitely
with a bit of
help
a carrot dangling, so folks will great
to get in early.
Yeah.
Well, Kirra Michel is recovering right now. She's recovering from an injury. She'll be on a modified class schedule for a while she recovers. She shared the news via Instagram this past week, and she said, "Your girl needs to slow down while my body heals." She said being injured isn't fun. I like at the end, she said, as Also, as a friendly reminder, please remember that everybody deals with pain, grief, and darkness in their own personal ways. Be careful placing judgment on others for not healing and grieving the same way you do, or expect them to. It contains a little video in which she shows a brace on her arm. She explains she's listening to her body and her doctors and given some time to heal. While she takes a break from her regular Peloton programming, she's going to continue to release meditations, restorative, and chair yoga content that will obviously not place any stress on her injury on her arm. But according to the upcoming schedule, some of those classes will take place live. And obviously, this is just one of many recent, injuries that instructors have had to take time off to recover from. We had Adrian Williams with his rotator cuff, his elbow.
Yeah.
His elbow was locked.
Yeah.
Kirsten Ferguson, Marcel Dinkins. I remember Jess Sims was out for a little while recovering. And then,
Rebecca,
she came back, and then Rebecca Kennedy,
was off a little bit. Yeah. I mean, there've been a lot. There've been a lot of injuries. So, I think people, I mean, look, I think it makes them real as it does for us. And I think it should be really important for members to heed their advice too. We see so many members jumping back into it way too quickly, and they really shouldn't. I mean, I know, I mean, I was there. Hey, I mean, I'm one of those that was injured, and it was rough. I mean, it sucked. It sucked. And from so many different perspectives, from a health, from a headspace perspective to a fitness perspective, it's been tough getting back into it. Let me tell you, it's not easy, but I listened.
Careful with overdoing it. And
exactly.
I'm definitely guilty of that, but I've slowed down the amount of time I spend working out each day. But I see people that are up at, at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., and they're putting in like 3 or 4 hours in the morning, and then they're coming back working out later in the day for another couple hours. I'm just like, it's just crazy to me. Because obviously your body's going to be taking body's taking a beating from that.
Sure.
I think we all need to.
No, it was definitely something. And I have to say, I came back very differently. I have not pushed myself. I look at my numbers of, what I'm doing, and I still haven't hit my 2,500. I mean, hopefully that'll be next Saturday with Alex. If I get off the wait list, I'm praying. But, it was a year ago where I hit 2,400, and I'm only just getting, and again, it was obviously I was off for 7 months. I was 2,400. Yeah. So it'll be 2,500 rides. Hopefully.
So you want to do 2,500 with Alex Toussaint?
I do. I do.
Nice.
You got any pull? Can you get me in the class? I'm on that wait list.
We know some of the same people.
I don't know. It hasn't worked for me yet, John. So I got to figure out how to do this.
I can only rub the Peloton genie lamp so many times.
I know. I may have to see what I can do. But at least I'm on the wait list. But
there's still some hope.
So there's some hope, but I would love to be able. But again, I'm saying, I really listened to my body, and I just, chose not to push myself. It's been, just a couple rides here or there, and whatever. All right. Well, for those, we're going to move right along. This is a story that I think a lot of people have been waiting for. But for those Oprah fans, you can now get to work out with her bestie Gail, and her staff from Oprah Daily on a 20-minute hike with Jess Sims. So Gail King's niece, Mackenzie Schwab, is a live class producer at Peloton and coordinated for the crew to be in studio. Mackenzie had shared on her Instagram. right. That was exactly what she did, Oprah. She's hysterical. But Mackenzie, who is adorable, shared on her Instagram her excitement, saying that from pitching the idea, getting her aunt and Oprah and the team to say yes, and she says, that they don't just agree to anything, bringing it to her team, and then producing and bringing this all together in just 3 days was a huge project. She did go on to thank Jess Sims for her enthusiasm and love that she brought into the class. and went on to say how she has always looked up to her Aunt Gail for the incredible journalist and human that she is. She said that the way she is able to connect with people inspired Mackenzie to pursue a career in media, and that being able to not only work with her, but also to produce her was beyond a dream. So the Oprah Daily Instagram account also shared a reel with Oprah and Jess preparing for the class. It was an interesting way for the class to be done because Gail and Oprah were mic'd up, so you could get to kind of get their feedback.
They had the spotlights. Yeah, they were fully integrated into the class. Yeah.
Fully integrated into the class. And I'm not sure if anybody else noticed, but the staff, the Oprah Daily staff, were all decked out in the same outfit. So they had the same leggings. They must have been given that by Peloton or maybe Oprah, but they were all wearing the same tank tops, the same leggings in the studio. So just Oprah and Gail were in different outfits, also decked in Peloton gear, which was definitely kind of cute. And you could see that Jess was just amazing. Jess was Jess, just so gracious and humble in being in a studio with Oprah Winfrey.
She did her best to get as much as she squeezed as much magic out of them as she could.
As she could. And yeah, I mean, was it like, oh my God? It was okay. It was a fun high, workout.
It was pretty. I mean, I took it the next day after it came out that Tuesday night.
Me too. It was at 7 a.m. It was 7 p.m. on that Monday night, the 23rd, that it actually got launched. And then I took it on
premiered. I thought it was pretty underwhelming. I mean, I didn't really. I felt like, and that explains a little bit the short time frame. I didn't realize that it was kind of like put together on such a whim in a short period of time. But I felt like Gail and Oprah were kind of very clueless about who Jess was. Like, it didn't really seem like they were briefed at all. And then they had no real knowledge of like the tread, how to like work. It was so foreign to them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it didn't really do it. I was expecting more. I thought there was going to be some funny moments or something that I could take from it that I could post and share about.
And there really wasn't.
No. And then
I agree.
I thought it was cute when Jess played this one's favorite song of Oprah's that she loves so much called Goodness of God. And Gail at one point, she's like, what's the name of the song? Who's it by?
And Oprah knew every single word to it, which was pretty impressive.
Jess played a live version and Oprah was like, this third verse, this is when I'm like doing my hike and I'm reaching the peak and I'm almost there. So she was kind of singing along with it. And then I thought it was fun when Jess mentioned she was at the same Beyonce concert as Oprah and Gail, which I don't know if it was at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey.
That bit. Okay.
And Jess said how she looked and she heard like all this ruckus, all these people screaming, and then she noticed who it was. It was because Oprah and Gail. And Gail made the point of saying Oprah never leaves the house, so this is a very big deal for her to leave the house to go to Beyonce or to come to the Peloton studios to do this. So she made a big point of saying how it's such a big deal because Oprah apparently is quite a homebody now.
Right. And what I was going to share with you guys is that, for those of you that aren't familiar, Oprah has become a very big hiker. So she goes out on trails. She loves to hike. She drags Gail along. And there've been some funny, just some funny stuff that they've posted on Instagram about Gail going along for hikes. So she's become, like a big hiker. And I guess the push was, I didn't know that Peloton offered hikes. That was kind of the premise behind it, was they offer hikes on the tread, and you can kind of get to your different summits by increasing your incline. But you're right. I mean, they really were not familiar, almost a little bit intimidated, more so interesting Gail than Oprah.
Gail was holding onto the rails the whole time.
Right? Very intimidated by the tread. But Jess made it very...
Yeah, you think that they have Peloton products, like especially Oprah. I know she has a home gym, so I would be really surprised if she didn't have a Tread Plus and all the Peloton hardware
stuff
there.
that she has.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that, but it was interesting. It definitely was, but it was interesting. So, yeah, I mean, you know, kudos to Mackenzie for pulling that off and to Peloton for going along with it. Yeah, I think there were a lot of, you know, big Oprah fans that were very excited about, you know, being in a class with Oprah.
I know some people weren't that happy with the way the schedule was shifted around that special
We're not
class,
going
right? You're not taking the bait. You're not taking the bait.
We're not going there. So, yeah. Are you using your ability because Chris Lewis is not on the show this week? So you're going to try and catch me. Yeah.
It's not like the censor is going to cut something out.
Right. Exactly.
Nothing scandalous.
Exactly.
Well, moving on to more exciting news, in my opinion, which right now is strictly a rumor. I think it's safe to say, though, that the Taylor Swift 1989 Artist Series has been announced by the time this episode airs on Sunday. You know, we're recording on Thursday. We have on pretty good authority that this has been announced on Friday because it's going to coincide with the release of Taylor's 1989 album that she re-recorded, Taylor's version, which is also dropping on October 27th, on Friday. But there was a hint in a recent post from Peloton about a November artist series, and that they said that another artist series is dropping on October 30th, and all you have to do is stay tuned. And it was kind of like an obvious hint from Taylor's song on that album, which is called All You Had to Do Was Stay. So I think it's pretty safe to say we're getting this next Taylor Swift artist series, which I'm very excited about because this is my favorite Taylor Swift album that she's done, which is the one album that I actually purchased the CD of, the deluxe version of, from Target back when it came out in 2013. Yeah, it had some bonus tracks on it, but yeah, the whole family was listening to this CD for a while in the car, and when I was working at my old job that I was going into an office for in Austin. But no, I'm excited for it. And I had messaged on Thursday. I had messaged with Selena because I noticed she has her Normal Tread Bootcamp, which is a 30-minute pop playlist on Tuesday. It's on Halloween, on Tuesday the 31st. Yeah. And I was actually going to send her just a random Taylor Swift song that I was hoping she would put on the playlist. So I asked her, I was like, is there any particular theme for the playlist because it's on Halloween? And she said, no, but stay tuned for something special. And so I replied, I was like, all I have to do is stay tuned. And she's just, she didn't go anything. She didn't reply further with anything, but it's kind of hinting. She didn't
respond to that.
Hopefully, one of the special artist series classes is Selena's Tread Bootcamp. I'm hoping that's what I took that to mean. So obviously, by the time this airs, you know, all the details will be out. So we'll obviously report on all of that on next week's episode. But we kind of wanted to, we kind of felt like we would just put it out there, like it's been announced. So there it is.
Yeah. No, that's exciting. Yeah.
Well, if it doesn't happen, if it's not announced, you just cut this whole segment out.
Right.
Just move on.
Exactly. We'll move on. Yeah. Well, November did bring out, since it was the end of the month, in October they always kind of announce who the next, you know, artist series will be for November, for the next month at least. And of course, at the end of October, they announced the November artist series. And whilst they didn't yet announce the Taylor Swift 1989, they did drop that there will be a DMX, a Blink 182, and Kiss artist series classes in November. And those dropped on Thursday. And let's see what we have. So there is a Blink 82 full body strength with Andy on November the 16th. There will be a run with Camilla, and there will be a bike ride with Kendall. So that will be the Blink 182 stuff that's coming out. As far as the DMX stuff goes, there will be a yoga class with Chelsea Jackson Roberts. And that's actually on the 9th. Excuse me, that actually comes before. So DMX comes before. There's a ride with Tunde. Also on the 9th, on Tuesday the 9th. There will be a run with Jocelyn Thompson-Rule. So a 30-minute run with Justin Thompson-Rule. And then as far as the KISS artist series, that is for the end of November, November the 30th. These classes will drop. And there will be a KISS ride with Dennis Morton. I mean, come on, who else? And a run with Andy Spear.
I figured I was waiting for you to say Andy because I could totally see Andy doing KISS.
Yeah. So
okay, that's
Andy
nice. That seems like an ideal matchup.
Yeah, so that's all we've kind of got, and I'm sure there'll be tons of on-demand stuff that'll drop as well, like they always do. Those are just the classes with members in the studio that folks could have signed up for this past Thursday if they wanted to be in class, for those actual artist series classes.
It'll be interesting to see who gets the Taylor Swift, who gets to teach some of the Taylor Swift artist series. And it'll be interesting to see if Jen Sherman
I was
gets
just
going to
say
cool down, because we know what a massive Swiftie she has become this past year.
Yeah.
Especially
maybe
after
she'll
going
get a whole.
to
She hasn't had an artist series in a while, so maybe she'll actually get the ride.
She did. Well, the last one she did was All for One, and it was released on demand. It was an Eagles. It was a 30-minute Eagles ride. Yeah,
but she hasn't had a live, so I'm wondering if, because we know who's not getting the Taylor Swift one. So
I'm sure they had to draw straws for this one. It was probably they had to compete a little bit for it, but she became a massive Taylor Swift fan this past year, especially after going to the concert, and I think she went to the one in Philadelphia where the Eagles play.
Oh, nice. Yeah. All right.
I just saw the Eras Tour movie last weekend. Have you seen the?
I did too.
Have you seen the movie?
Did too.
Oh,
it was fantastic. Fantastic. I did see it. I took Nicole was on full break last week, and I took her and a girlfriend to see it. We went together, and it was amazing. It was amazing.
People,
and I actually think it was kind of like a nice way. Oh yeah. Oh,
Standing,
absolutely.
dancing.
Yeah. I mean, the timing was just, it was like right when the kind of the world imploded. So I wasn't kind of into posting anything like that at that point. But yeah, she went and she had a great time, and I was happy that I could go along and see it. She wasn't able to get in the States, but she's studying abroad next year, and she was able to get tickets for Paris. So her and all her college friends are going to see her in Paris. So that should be a lot of fun. I'm excited for her to be able to do that. She's my daughter is a huge, oh my God, she's obsessed with Taylor Swift, and she's 20, but she loves her. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, Jackson had a good time dancing in the front row. Someone gave him a friendship bracelet, and he didn't have one to give back in return.
Oh,
and so this girl started chasing him.
Oh, that's hysterical. Oh my goodness.
He took it under the guise that they were exchanging, but he didn't have one.
He didn't realize that he had to give one back.
Well, he did, but he was just being a punk.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah, but it was fun. I kind of wish there was some behind the scenes stuff. It was the 3-hour concert basically, minus like 2 or 3 songs that they cut out. But I was kind of wishing it was like some behind the scenes stuff, like Madonna's Truth or Dare. Remember that concert movie?
Yeah,
which had some documentary style stuff behind the scenes. But anyway, it was still great.
Yeah, no, I loved it.
To relive that show. Keeping on the theme of artist series, we have Peloton's revealed the complete details of their Ludacris artist series, which will be launching later this week. Peloton had posted, just like that, Dirty South in the House, celebrate 50 years of hip hop in an artist series featuring Ludacris. Let his smash hits fuel your workout as you sweat to Southern rap. At its best, joyful and gritty. The series began this past Thursday, October 26th. It included 8 classes across 6 modalities, including 2 classes in German. While there will be 1 pre-recorded on-demand drop and also 1 premiering, most of the classes did occur live. So far, they've all come out at this point, but on Thursday the 26th, we had a live 20-minute Ludacris chest and back in German with Cliff, a 30-minute bike boot camp, but it was taught by Tunde. It went on demand on the 26th as well. Mila Lazar, she taught a live 20-minute Ludacris ride in German, a 20-minute Ludacris full body strength with Jess Sims. That was a live premiere. And
it was 30 minutes. Sorry, John, just to interrupt you. It was 30 minutes boot camp.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Yep, that was from Thursday.
I can copy and paste this whole workout list from Pelo Buddy. So
yeah.
Crystal can update that.
30-minute
Ludacris ride with Jess King. That one was live on the evening of Thursday, the 26th. Kirsten Ferguson at the same time taught a 30-minute Ludacris run on that Thursday night. Dennis, that same evening, he taught a live 30-minute yoga flow. And then Ash Pryor, as the same time as the yoga flow, she taught a 20-minute Ludacris row. So they are all available now in the library. And in addition to the regular artist series classes, there's 2 lane break levels that were released on both the bike and the tread. There's a 5-minute lane break Ludacris warm-up run and a 5-minute lane break warm-up ride that came out the 30th. So that one hasn't dropped yet, but the other one, the ride, dropped on the 27th. And obviously there's an artist series badge you'll get for taking any of those. And also if you want to see any of the future, the current, past badges for all the different special classes, we always have that a compromised list on pelobuddy.com if you ever want to peruse all the different badges that are out there.
Yeah. All right. So tons of other series stuff to look forward to and keep going. So that's kind of good. All right. Well, it looks like Peloton is still on tour in the US. And Matty and Jenn announced that they are hitting the road and heading out west. So on Thursday, November the 2nd, they'll be in the Bay Area from November the 2nd, because they will have
Santa Clara showroom.
Yep. So they have their first stop will be at the Peloton store in Santa Clara. And that is on Friday, November the 3rd. And then Thursday. And then on November the 3rd, they will be in Palo Alto between 6 and 8. So they're stopping off in 2 different places. In the Santa Clara, they will have a meet and greet where folks will be able to come in and get to meet with them and chat with them, which will be kind of fun and obviously get pictures taken. In Palo Alto, they are going to host a game night for interested members. So members can come along, and I think that they'd be so cute together, Matty and Jenn, and doing, something really fun. Members are requested to RSVP. There is no charge for these 2 events. But you are requested to RSVP as soon as possible. You can do that at storeevents.onepeloton.com. And you'll have the ability to get a 15% discount on any apparel or goodies that you want to purchase during the event at the stores. So gives folks an opportunity to get a little discount when you're in the store as well. So that was kind of nice to see.
Right.
And then for all the marathon runners, Peloton has put together with New York Road Runners a pre-marathon shakeout run. So this one does have a price tag to it. It is $35. Members are required to RSVP and pay. And what you'll get is a warm-up run. You'll get the actual run with instructors and then a cool down. And who will be there? You will be able to meet Bex Gentry, Mariana, Logan, Rad, and then all the way from the UK, Susie Chan and Jeffrey McEachin. Those attending will also have a chance to craft their own cheer sign, enjoy snacks, and mingle with the coaches, and of course have an opportunity to get photos and little keepsakes that you can take with you. So just something kind of fun. The collaboration between the New York Road Runners and Peloton, is definitely in full force. But that was something fun that was kind of popped in there to add. I think I mentioned Thursday. It's Thursday night. It was Thursday.
The marathon's on Sunday the 5th, right?
Sunday the 5th, and this is on Thursday the 2nd. The 2nd. And then rolling right into another class purge,
Wah, wah,
and
wah.
this time there was an abundance of classes, 350
Plethora.
classes, filmed between August the 11th and the 26th, were removed from the on-demand library.
2020.
2020. Yep, 2020. Yep. Which kind of is the last, but I'm trying to think when they were back in studio. I think they went back into the studio in August, the end of July.
They were back.
They're back that quickly?
No, they were back in like May, I want to say. It was maybe
No, because May was when they did. May and June, I think, was when they did most of the classes from home. Maybe it was July. I think it was July.
I thought it was more like March and April that they
They only started in May. No, and the reason I know that is because I read Alex's book, and he talks about it in his book, and I've actually been catching up on his ride from home classes in my anticipation of getting into his class.
I'm listening to his book, but I'm right where he's like blowing up with Flywheel.
Ah, okay.
I'm at the point where he's moving into the city and he's teaching.
It was a very amicable leave, but
I'm
but
not
yeah.
saying there was any.
When you said blow up, I thought you meant.
He's becoming really popular at Flywheel.
Got it. Ah, yes.
Like he's really getting
yes.
super super big, and he's moving out from the East Hampton studio and living full time in New York City. That's where I'm at in the.
All right, awesome.
Book.
Yeah,
So it's kind of cool to see the progression.
Are you listening or are you reading?
No, I'm listening. I love.
Isn't it
listening.
fantastic?
And he's reading it, and he's got a great like deep speaking voice. So it's you really get into it listening to him read it.
You know, he was very animated. Actually, I'm listening to him. I don't know if you're recognizing that he was incredibly animated. I love just the way he did it. I listened to Ben Aldis's as well, which I thought was fantastic. But hearing Alex, just his passion and his rawness, it was amazing. We're digressing. Sorry, folks. We'll just finish up with the Purges, but there are still some Power Zones out of series classes, that were retained. They tend to keep those. But yeah, I mean, they slowly but surely you're getting rid of more and more classes. So
there was one Purge class. It was a really good Cody ride. I think it was from August of 2020. It was a 30-minute 90s ride, and I actually have a clip of it on YouTube because Cody he plays the song by Cisco. It's called Got to Get It. It's a really good song. It's off the same album that he did the Thong Song.
Okay.
But he goes on this whole rant about how he scammed BMG Music Club to get the CD for that album, where you get 10 albums for like a penny each. And then
I remember those days.
The gag is you have to buy one album, but he says he scammed them and never paid anything. So they purged that class, and it was really good because he dances. He goes crazy to the song when it comes on. So at the On Tour Chicago event, I told him about that. I was like, dude, they purged that. You got to play that song again. You haven't played it since that class in 2020. So it's like, it's on his radar. So we'll see.
All right, good.
We'll see if he gets it. Because he's not one that, really, he doesn't respond to DMs, and he doesn't really seem to take music requests very often. So I shot my shot. So I put it out there. So we'll see.
All right. Well, hopefully you'll get your request. It's John Pruitt after all.
2 years from now. All right. So some updates to the interface, some font updates. I'm sure a lot of people have noticed by now. No, I like squinting. I was like, it's.
Oh God, you were moaning because your full tag wasn't off there before. You wasn't on there before. Now you're moaning because you're squinting to see what's on there.
Well, it just looks tiny now, and it's not even like they shrunk it to allow the extra characters that they cut off.
Oh.
Anyway, Peloton's rolled out this small update to the fonts that appear on the Bike Plus, the Tread Plus, and the Row. So members who have been on any of those devices over the past few days, you might have noticed some slight changes to how the numbers and words are displayed just on different screens. Especially I noticed on the leaderboard when I was doing a ride. But it affected like the clock area, the metrics, the post-class summary section. So for example, like on the leaderboard when you're taking a class, the username appears to be slightly higher then the second line below it that would be like the location field that would show like the gender, the age, the city you're in. So in other words, there's no more spacing between some of the lines when there was before. It doesn't appear to have impacted just the line spacing though. In some areas, the new font appears to be displaying slightly smaller than it was before. So it was just decreased by a little bit, because I just noticed like the letters are just a little finer now,
Interesting.
So it's just kind of those weird, it just threw me off a little bit. So it impacts the display of some metrics, the numbers. Some members have also noticed updates to the clock at the top of the screen, as well as the areas in the metrics at the bottom, the cadence, resistance, output, speed, stroke rate. And in addition to updating the fonts, it would also seem that other areas of the user interface also got a slight refresh, including the home tab of the screen, specifically the overview section of the home screen appears to have received a slight refresh as well. And this is at least the second update to the UI of the hardware devices in as many months. Peloton had made another round of updates to it back in August, which is when I know a lot of members noticed and complained, because some members have a longer leaderboard name, and with that update, all of a sudden the last couple letters were cut off of their leaderboard name, which I know for whoever that affected, that would piss me off if all of a sudden the whole leaderboard name wasn't fully displayed, and then you got the little ... like you had to tap it to see the open it up and see the full leaderboard name, and also some of the tags that were long. Got cut off the same way, like my Straight Dudes for Cody tag all of a sudden got cut off the last couple letters. It was just kind of like a weird random thing. Just one of those little annoying things.
All right, first world problems. But I actually noticed on the app, and Chris didn't mention but I actually noticed on the app the font was changed too. It's a much darker font. If you're looking, I mean, being down in Florida, I'm using the app a lot more because I only have the bike here. So I have to do all my tread classes, using the app. And I noticed that when you kind of went back in to look at it, they were definitely darker. There was some changings there too. I didn't notice it on my bike though. I guess I got to maybe go refresh mine. I didn't when I rode today. I didn't actually notice any change. Maybe I haven't updated my software. All right. Well, talking about the bike, Peloton ran a special 5-day discount offer on the certified refurbished bikes from October the 19th to the 23rd of this past month. Members could purchase a refurbished original Peloton bike for $995, which I think is pretty inexpensive for a bike. If you just kind of want to have one, even if you want a second one, I think it's a really good price. So that would be $150 off the standard price, and a refurbished Peloton bike plus for $1,595, saving $400 off the standard price. The offer, which does include delivery and setup, required the use of a specific discount code, but it was available in multiple countries. So it included the UK, Germany, and Australia. Although it is important to note that all sales of these refurbished bikes are final, and there is no option for returns.
No 30-day
try. No, nothing. Yep, you buy it, you keep it. So, I guess they're making sure that if, they're not having people then, go ahead and turn them in. I mean, you can still rent your bike if you want to try it that way, if you don't want to spend the money. But this seems like a pretty good deal on these refurbished bikes. So, yeah.
You have 2 bikes at 2 different locations, Amanda. Do you pay 2 separate subscriptions?
No, because I'm the only one that uses it. So I flipped ask my subscriptions.
How much of a pain? Because, Jackie's got her Bike Plus. I've got the bike. But Jackie doesn't, she maybe rides a couple times a week. So I was thinking, because we pay 2 separate subscriptions now, but I could really deactivate one of the subscriptions. Absolutely. I was just curious how big of a pain it is.
I mean, look, it is a little bit of a pain because you do have to go in and, and put in all your information.
Scan the code or whatever, or however they have it.
Yeah. It's not quite as easy to do it as they do it in the studio. You do have to kind of go through the steps. For me, it's not a big deal because it's like I'm using it, and then once I go back to Maryland, I just switch back to
Reactivate
that.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, it may be a little bit more of a pain, but no, I mean it's what's it, a
Yeah.
$46 savings
It's
every
like
month?
almost 50, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
almost 50 bucks
almost
a month
50
even.
bucks. So yeah, and then of course it doesn't matter for the tread. You use the same one, and that's no big deal.
Yeah.
But
Put those
but
on
yeah,
all under one.
yeah.
Oh, good to know. Well, we got an earnings call date coming up with Peloton. So Peloton announced the date time of their fiscal year Q1 2024 earnings call in a press release this past October 19th. They shared that the call will take place on Thursday, November 2nd, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. They will release their first quarter fiscal 2024 results just prior to the call taking place. On PeloBuddy.com, we have a write-up where you can access the call, which you can go to a link to register. There's also going to be a live webcast of the conference call. We have the website link. It's investor.onepeloton.com with a little hyper link added to it. But for those that can't attend it on the call or the webcast live, a replay will be available on the investor relations page of the company's website for 30 days afterwards. But we also have a link to the full press release, the Q3 2020 earnings call date on Peloton's website if you want to see the previous one.
And we'll give you a synopsis once it's done.
Yeah, and
tell you
I'm sure
everything you need to know.
I'm sure we'll share John Mill's highlights because I do love the way he just kind of like recaps and gets all the bullets, the main
Maybe
points.
we'll have John. Maybe we'll have John back on when the earnings call comes out, and he can get to tell us all about it. What date did you say it was? I missed that. I'm sorry.
It's on Thursday morning, November 2nd, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
Okay.
Just
so next Thursday.
Week.
Next Thursday. Yeah. Got it. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Birthdays. So there was a very special birthday, and I know that he doesn't like to be made a fuss of, but in conjunction with the amazing Matt Wilpers, our very own Chris Lewis gets to share a birthday with Matt Wilpers, and they celebrated on Tuesday, the 24th. So a very, very happy birthday to the amazing Mr. Pelo Buddy himself, who got to spend it in Costa Rica. So I hope he is not too shabby. It was a big one. He turned the big 4-0.
I didn't. Yeah. I thought Chris Lewis was still in his 30s. I know Matt.
Well, he was until Tuesday.
But I thought Chris Lewis was still in his 30s.
Oh, that's so funny because I think Chris Giles and I were having this discussion before we started recording that they were born they were born the same year, because I knew it was Matt Wilpers' 40th as well. And then Emma Lovewell celebrated her birthday on Wednesday, the 25th. So
she's definitely not 40 yet.
Oh no, she's a baby. Yeah, she's not. I don't know how old she is, but she's like in her mid-30s. Mid-30s, maybe.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So happy birthday. So what a lovely group of folks celebrating their birthday this past week. All right, John, let's go right into Instructor in the News. And I will kick it off with Bex Gentry. So Bex is set to make her broadcast debut as a contributor to ESPN2's coverage of the 2023 New York Marathon. So the marathon, which is scheduled for next Sunday, as we said earlier, the 5th, will be broadcast to over 540 million homes worldwide. Bex, as we know for her marathon experience, I mean, she's just fantastic, absolutely fantastic, will join a team of reporters providing insights and coverage of the event. The collaboration follows Peloton's recent multi-year partnership with New York Road Runners, which does include various initiatives like race bib contests and special training series for the marathon. But that was really exciting to see that Bex will play an important role. Even though she's not running, she will still be, play an important role in the marathon, which is great.
Nice. Giving some color commentary.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, a big congratulations to Alex Karwoski and his teammate Nicholas Mead, who won second place in the men's elite pair invitational category at the Head of the Charles 2023 rowing event that just happened last weekend. They just shared a picture together and posted about it. I know, Alex, the previous year, I feel like he came in first in the Head of the Charles event. I think he placed as well. I can't remember if he came in first in that category, but he did compete in it the prior year.
Right. Congratulations. Awesome. And then the gorgeous Aditi Shah was the Exhale to Inhale 2023 Voice of Courage Award winner. So the Voice of Courage Award honors an individual who demonstrates leadership in empowering women and inspires hope in the Exhale to Inhale community. So the chosen individual has made a significant contribution to the field, impacting the organization's work on a broader level. Aditi was honored at the 5th annual gala, which was in celebration to Inhale's 10th anniversary of supporting survivors of domestic and sexual violence through the healing power of trauma-informed yoga. So the event took place at Chelsea Piers on October the 18th. And we wanted to wish Aditi a huge congratulations for that. Absolutely amazing.
Great. Well, Peloton presented an award at the Sporting Equal Awards that took place in London. Jermaine Johnson posted about it on Instagram this week. He said it was an honor to present an award on behalf of Peloton last night with Hannah Frankson at Sporting Equals 2023. It's truly inspiring to witness the passion and hard work dedicated to promoting diversity in UK sports, making it more inclusive and accessible for all. The award category was Peloton Sportswoman of the Year. There was a few nominees, and the one who won it is Katarina Johnson-Thompson. She is the World and Commonwealth heptathlon champion.
Wow.
She's spoken out about her experience of racism in the public domain, including in a Vogue interview. She's also launched the LFC X KJT Academy, which helps aspiring athletes who may not get the opportunity otherwise due to their socioeconomic background. But they presented that award. There's a few different athletic awards categories that night. That was the Peloton one that they presented Katarina with.
Very nice. And Ben Aldis, very busy Ben. He announced his US book tour dates this past week. The tour is scheduled from November the 13th to the 18th and will take place in Chicago, Boston, Washington, D.C., New York, and Northvale, New Jersey. Tickets are already on sale and quite a few have already been sold out. Pricing does vary based on the venue. Each ticket includes a copy of the book, and some venues might offer a photo session with Ben. The book, Raise the Bar, was released last month in the UK and will be available in the US from November the 13th. Ben announced on Thursday that he will be bringing along some very famous people with him on his book tour. So he will have joining him as hosts in Chicago. He'll have Ross Rayburn. Boston, he'll have the amazing Alex Toussaint. In Washington, D.C., will be none other than Leanne, who will fly in specially for this. And then the tour ending at Peloton Studios in New York will be hosted by Cody Rigsby. So your girl had a dilemma. I will be in Florida. And I literally wanted to scream when I found out the dates of when he's going to be touring. What's the DC? DC is on Wednesday the 15th, I believe it is. Yes, Wednesday the 15th. And I am bringing my parents. So there was a big dilemma as to what I was going to do. What do you think the answer is?
You shifted things around.
Not even a question of shifting. My parents
Shocker.
will stay in Miami while I fly to DC, get to do this with Leanne and Ben, and fly back. It was like a no-brainer. I mean, it's a midweek JetBlue,
the amount of flying that you
6,000.
do on a weekly basis
It's
is
crazy.
mind-boggling.
You know what? I love JetBlue loves me. But honestly, with points and JetBlue, if anybody doesn't have a JetBlue credit card, get one. Am I advertising JetBlue here? Oh my God, John, how can I miss the two of them?
That's
in
your
DC,
go-to airline.
I mean, it's like,
I know, right? It's your hometown.
Right in my hometown.
Yeah, book club.
Right in my hometown. And a very gracious, lovely member had purchased tickets for the VIP part of it, which gets you to meet them and etc. And and invited me to come along, and I could not be rude and say no, so I had to accept it. So I don't know. I am still on the fence. Oh my God, I'm like, I haven't even told my parents yet. But
I'm just a little annoyed at this point.
That they just
Michigan, Detroit area.
Why?
The Detroit has gotten no book club from any of the instructors thus far. Like, I thought maybe Alex would put in a Detroit stop.
Yeah.
It's just been a bummer. We haven't got any book tour stops here.
Yeah. It's interesting that they are keeping it, kind of to the, well, no, I guess Alex did go out west, right? Did he go west?
He's going to Chicago, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to Chicago. Cody went out to some random suburb in Chicago when he did his stop.
Okay.
In the Chicago area.
But it is surprising. It is surprising. All right. Yeah. And then Susie Chan shared with us that she will be teaching her very first class at PSNY. She'll have a 30-minute 90s rock run post New York City Marathon on Monday, November the 6th. And members did have an opportunity this past Thursday to book in with Susie when the bookings opened on Thursday for, this week's next 6 weeks time, but they went ahead and rolled in Susie's class as well. It was a little frustrating though, because when they did it, they did not roll her in as Susie Chan. They just had her under running. So if you were filtering to look for Susie Chan, you weren't finding her, which was a little frustrating, but very excited for her. I don't know how the woman is going to run a class after having just run the marathon the day before, but she's Susie Chan, so she can do anything because she's
if anybody can do it, she can.
Right. If anyone can do it, Susie Chan can do it. So really, really excited about that. That it was gone in a hot minute. So excited for that. Excited for that. And yes, I am in that class. And that is a huge thanks to Pelo Jennifer. I did not get in. Jen got in 2 spots and she hooked me up. I could not get in because I was looking under running and not under Susie Chan. So I am excited. But so yes, I'm giving you a shout out, Jen. Thank you so much for hooking me up and getting me a spot.
I'm curious. So I know things haven't settled down with the New York studio booking site, but I'm curious now, have things calmed down now that PSL has reopened? Is it back to being pretty easy to get in there?
PSL is definitely a lot easier. PSL is definitely a lot easier. And in fact, I posted in Club Husky on Wednesday, there was an opening for John's Run on Thursday, which is very unusual. And there was a ton of, there's like stuff you can actually go on and book. I mean, there's literally not even wait lists. There's like books. So, so folks should definitely go back on, periodically as people kind of, cancel before the week comes back up. If people know that they aren't going to be there. So, but I think that New York is still a pain in the butt. This classes just go so quickly. It's crazy. I mean, I didn't try to book for anything this past week other than that. I was trying to get that and screwed that one up. So, but I think it's still pretty difficult. So,
Well, rounding out the instructor in the news, we're going to finish up with Allie Love. She was recently on the Richer Lives SoFi podcast, which I watched most of it. It was on YouTube. So I watched her being interviewed. And they talked, it was all, like financial advice. It was a little annoying because it was about a 30-minute segment where in between different questions, it was almost like mini financial commercials,
Oh.
which just got kind of annoying after a while. But, they asked her, they started out with sort of like fun questions. They said, if you could choose anything to get for free for the rest of your life, what it would be. And she contemplated and said, well, like hotels, obviously, or airlines. But she simply said Chipotle.
Did she really?
Get Chipotle for free. She's a big Chipotle fan, which, I mean, I feel like these days Chipotle has really jumped the shark in terms of like quality. Like Chipotle just doesn't hit like it used to before the pandemic. Like you're getting some weak scoops at Chipotle. It's just the price keeps going up.
Do you have Cava where you guys are? Do you have Cava where you guys are?
Cabo?
Cava Grill. You don't have it in. You don't have it in.
That.
Okay, all right.
No, we have Qdoba. There's a Moe's, which is kind of like
Cava's
poverty
Greek.
Chipotle.
It's like big and
okay. No, I've never even heard of it. So probably not.
All right.
They said, how would you define richness? And she said, when time is no longer, a luxury that she can't afford to waste. She talked a lot about financial, mental health. Then they played some like fun games, like timed games. Like they asked her to name as many different currencies as she could, name as many different stocks, different company stocks as she could. It was kind of a, fun interview, like a fun mix of different things.
Nice. All right, good.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess that wraps up the instructor in the news for now. And let's go right into class picks of the week. I will kick it off. All right. First up, Bradley Rose, 45-minute intervals and arms. It was from the 19th of October at 7 a.m. Eastern. Our very faithful Amajar 3 recommended this one, and they said tough workout, but a great playlist to get you through the class. And then Bex Gentry, she had a 30-minute progression run, also from the 19th. That was also at 7 a.m. Eastern. This one came in from Mandy Rose, and she said, solid coaching as always from Bex. Plus, it was Baby T's birthday run. So Tallulah turned 1. Very cute. And then Kristen McGee, she had a 10-minute focus flow hips. From the 19th, it was at 8:05 a.m. Karen Zengsberry recommended this one, said, amazing class. I've done this 3 times since it came out last week. Fantastic.
All right, Amajar 3 gave us the next one, which is Hannah Frankson's 30-minute Craig David ride from October 19th. She said this ride was everything I hoped it would be. And then also another Amajar 3 pick from Jess Sims, her 20-minute Craig David full body strength, also from the 19th. She said, great workout, great music. And then moving to the bike, Olivia Amato's 30-minute Hidden Hills from the 20th. We got this from the Nifty 150. They said, great ride for Breast Cancer Awareness Month and an amazing playlist.
Fantastic. And then Hannah Corbin had a 30-minute pop ride from the 20th. This one came in from Tough Sweats. They said, fun class with great music as well. Amajar has been very busy. I hope you're also listening to your body. She recommended a 30-minute classical yoga flow from the 21st from Aditi, and said an incredibly relaxing yoga class. And then Christina M. Romano gave us Ali Love's 30-minute feel-good ride from the 22nd. It was at noon. And she said just an amazing energy in the studio. Ali said afterwards it was one of the best groups she'd had in the studio. So that's a huge shout out to whoever was in the studio for that ride.
All right, high praise. Well, Kim Thousand gave us the next pick, which is Mariana Fernandez's 30-minute advanced beginner run from the 23rd. She said, great run, great playlist, and great coaching instructor and structure, as always, for Mariana. And then staying on the tread, Adrienne Williams' 30-minute intervals run from the 23rd. We got this from Bertha C. Runs MD. She said, loved the structure, 4 and 3-minute intervals, and Adrienne was classic Adrienne. And then Logan's 20-minute chest and back strength from October 24th. We got this from Claire H. Stein. She said just a fun, solid class from Logan.
Fantastic. And then rounding off this week's picks of the week, we had Tobias Hines' 20-minute soft rock walk from the 25th at noon. Bertha C. Runs MD recommended this one, and Annie said, I did it outside with the pop, and it was a perfect playlist for a beautiful fall day walk. I'm still not sure what soft rock is, but I love it. And
like
then
easy listening.
Easy listening, right? Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think.
Eagles.
Okay,
Perfect soft rock.
those are kind of would be what it is. All right, and then Just Dance Lisa recommended Emma Lovewell's 30-minute groove ride from the 25th. She said the music and dancing were great in this class. And then ending it is finishing them all up. Pelo for Cafecitos. She recommended Camilla Ramon's 45-minute Hit and Hills. That one was from the 26th at 7:30 a.m. And she said music was amazing. It'll make you work. And that,
nice.
my friends,
I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
A little disappointed there was no picks for Charlotte Wiedenhorn this week.
I didn't want to mess it up anymore. Wiedenbach. I know it is Wiedenbach. We will not mess that up anymore. But that does wrap up the picks of the week. And some pretty juicy stuff where we gave you this week with lots happening once again in the Pelo world. Just crazy how every week there's just so much that drops. But yeah. Hope you guys got what you needed out of the show and got to enjoy John and my banter, because clearly that's why you come. I mean, you don't come for the news.
Take what you need and leave the rest.
Right? You come for us. But we appreciate it. We really do. So, from me here in South Florida, bye for now, everybody.
In the 401, what are you in?
410? 3 now.
In the 313?
313. What is Florida? 310. 310.
And 310.
I don't know. I have a 301 phone number because of Maryland. So, but I think it's 310.
Well, for me in the 734 in Michigan, thank you as always for tuning in, watching, and listening. And as always, of course, we will see you on the leaderboard.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.